So a very good evening, guys. Welcome to this episode where I get to discuss my FOMC projections, what I'm expecting from the FOMC today, and basically also the outlook for the week. So as we get to start, not even starting because we're already in mid of the week. So as you can see right here, I have the link. We have the blog right here. You can get to see some of the videos and some of the analysis we've had of the various pairs, and also get to hear the feedback and testimonials from the various members of our Chase Capital trading community. So now jumping into the markets, let's see what we are having. Jumping into the markets, let's see what we're having. So starting off, we have Euro USD. Now, with Euro USD, currently we can see we've had a break above this key supply area here. This is a very key area of supply. And now that eventually we've seen price break above this level and we formed higher highs, confirming a potential continuation of the rally higher. So now we are in a bullish sentiment. Price has filled the range. We are now forming a new bullish range. So with that bullish range definitely comes an expectation that you're going to see price rally higher. However, what I'm anticipating to see is that we will be having a potential retest of the broken supply as a new demand before a potential continuation of the rally higher. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how price reacts to this. And the next area of interest I'll be looking at price coming to. Now this is on the 4 hour time frame. This level here, the levels of 1.19500. That is my next key area of interest. So looking at the kind of data we have for FOMC. Today, FOMC, we are looking at a potential rate cut by 25 basis points. So if that actually happens, we will be expecting that we will be expecting some very sharp dollar weakness. So if you have sharp dollar weakness, then definitely pairs like these USD, GBP, USD will be expecting strong rallies. Then pairs like all pairs that have the dollar as the base currency will be expecting very sharp drops. So FOMC is tonight at 9 p.m. Let's wait and see how that goes. But my sentiment for this is expecting a potential bullish continuation all the way to the levels of 1.19500. Then the next pair I'll be looking out for is GBP USD. Let this chart load. Then we see what we have. So this is GBP USD. Yeah, there you have it. So for GBP USD again, you can see my levels. Price has eventually broken these levels here. This is a very key supply area here. Each time price tapped this level, you saw very strong pushes to the downside, like this when price tapped here, like this when price tapped here, like this when price tapped here, like this. So this has been a very key area that has given this has been a very key level that has given strong pushes to the downside. So now that price has eventually broken above, we have the higher high formed. I was anticipating a potential retest, but price has already gone. So we might miss the retest on this, but if it does through the FOMC spike, then the better, because now it gives us an opportunity to actually take that trade. Okay. So, but if it doesn't, then expect price to break above and keep pushing higher. So the next area of interest I'm looking out for is the levels of 1.37500. These are the levels I'm anticipating to see. 1.37500 areas. Now that is based off this supply area here. Okay, that is based off this supply. So this supply is the major origin of this whole drop all the way to this demand area here. Okay. So for this major range to be filled, we'll be expected to see price rally all the way back to these levels of 1.37500 areas. Okay. So let's wait and see how price reacts. Let's wait and see how price reacts to this. Levels of 1.37500 is the major target for this one. Okay. So that's on GBP USD. Let's have a quick look at NZD USD. NZD USD as well, you can see. We're still very bullish on this one. So I'm looking at price. We've seen price rally break above this. We had a slight retest, although price missed this level. And we have rallied to these highs here. So what I'm anticipating is to see price take out these highs and rally all the way to these levels of 0.6500, this supply area up here. Because this supply is the origin of this whole drop all the way down to this demand and also all the way to these lows. So for the full range to be filled, we'll be expecting to see price coming back to the origin of this whole drop to the downside, and that level is this area of 0.6500 areas. Okay, and that is all the way to these levels right here, 0.6500 areas. So that is how I'm expecting to see price get to. So if you're looking at a weaker dollar, then you're expecting a pair like this to push all the way to the upside. So let's wait and see how price reacts to this tonight. Then you have a pair like USD CHF. There is USD CHF. You can see eventually we've broken below this zone. We had been looking out for potential buys from here, which we saw price push from here till here. These highs failed to tap this level. Now we saw a strong push to the downside that has eventually broken below this demand. We have a lower low formed. So what I'd be looking out for is a retest of the broken demand as a new supply, either from here or from here, the levels of 0.79300 or 79,000 areas here. Then a potential continuation of the drop lower. Okay. So let's wait and see. Considering this was a very key demand, this is a very key demand area here. So let's wait and see how price reacts to this. But my bias or sentiment is that we're expecting a potential bearish push to the downside with price pushing lower. Then USDCAD. We have USDCAD, then I'll check out indices, USDCAD. There is USDCAD. For USDCAD, this has been the range from this demand to these highs. Then now another range from these lows. These lows have formed a demand. Okay, so from these lows to this high, then back to this low, that range was filled. Now price pushes till these highs here. We have this high here and this high here. Then price pushes to the downside all the way till this level here. Okay, so I'll be waiting to see if price breaks below. If you have a weaker dollar, then chances are high price will break below. And if it breaks below, the next area of interest is price coming all the way to these levels of 1.36 thousand. Okay, 1.36 thousand will be my key level of interest to see how price reacts to this. Okay, so let's wait and see. 1.36 thousand is the major area of interest for this. Once price breaks below these lows here. Okay, when price breaks below those lows, then we can eyeball 1.36 thousand areas. Then now let's get into the indices, Nasdaq and US 30. So NAS 100, we have this. You can see price has formed all-time highs at 24,400. So I'll be anticipating with the kind of momentum we're seeing here, a push to back to these levels of 23,930 areas or 24,000 areas before a potential continuation of the rally higher. Okay, so if price comes and taps this area, you can look out for potential buys because we understand the negative correlation between the dollar or the dollar index and the indices. And now that price broke above this supply area and it was never retested. So formed all-time highs. So if you see price come back to this area, look out for potential buys from this level. Then you can hold it all the way back to the highs of 24,400. I'm looking at price breaking above 24,400 and even forming new all-time highs. My projection is that by the end of Q4, we should be looking at price of Nasdaq having tapped 25,000. That is my projection. I'm looking at price coming to the 25,000 levels. So let's wait and see how the markets react to the FOMC, and also now how we get to start, how we get to end Q3 and start Q4. Okay, so let's wait and see how the markets react to this. But that is my sentiment. Then lastly, we have US 30. For US 30, we have this. So price has actually reacted from this structure. We saw price form all-time highs here, 46, remember 46, 100 areas. Then come to retest this broken structure. This is a previous supply, now becomes demand. And now we are pushing back to these highs. I expect to see these highs taken out and price form higher highs. I'm looking at projecting 46,400. That is my next projection. If we break that, we see price rally all the way to 46,700 areas. Okay. So there's a criteria that I use especially for these. There's a criteria I use especially for these indices because there's statistics and data that I usually check out, especially for these indices when it comes to when it comes to approaching the end of the year. Um, when you get to end of when you get to start of Q4 and end of Q4, usually majority of the times we usually approach the markets get to form all-time highs on indices. For the last few years, apart from 2022, so we saw that in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2023, 2024. So 2025 we'll get to see a repeat of that. We can only wait and see. But now that also helps us in terms of like positioning ourselves and being able to actually see how that turns out. Okay. So let's wait for the FOMC and see how it reacts. It's a very anticipated FOMC. We'll probably see the first rate cut from the Fed for the whole of this year. So it will be quite an impactful one. So with that, guys, let's be vigilant. Stay blessed and stay financially literate as always. Don't forget to check out the blog right here. The private Discord definitely is right here. These are members only Discord. These are members only Discord. So uh, the members only definitely they have the in-depth information of how we usually approach these markets, and they are ready also as well for these FOMC. So with that, guys, stay blessed and stay financially literate. Cheers, everyone. See you on the next one.